All right. Hey, everyone. I am here with Chris Siverhus. Hey, Chris.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thanks for asking.
That last name is tough.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the one they gave me, so I
That
learned it.
that's how it works. Some people do change their last name though. There was this couple that I met that when they got married, they combined their last names and but not like a hyphen. Like they combined them and then they both changed their name to the new combination.
That just seems not okay. I don't know. Is that can you? I suppose you can, but
You do whatever you
I
want, man.
no.
Yeah, no, whatever.
So
Anyway,
like, yeah, okay,
okay.
all
So
right,
Chris is a top producing agent at Remax in Minnesota
that's
with
right.
the water bubblers. Is that the bubblers?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
yeah,
And you are a tiebreaker, Chris. So, I mean, not really.
okay.
This one's not really like we didn't really necessarily fight about it, but we're talking about the role of a realtor and where it like ends basically. Like, what do you, has a client ever asked you to do like something weird where you're like, that is not in my job description?
Yeah, I think yeah, definitely. I'm assuming you're looking for an example.
I'll take one thing.
Right? Yeah. All right. Cool. So a good example would be, so we sell a lot of lake homes in my market, right? The land of 10,000 plus lakes. So we sell lake homes, and one of my clients thought it would be appropriate for me to go basically clean their beach
Oh,
prior to a showing. And to clean a beach in Minnesota, depending on the lakefront, could be a few hours of, manicuring the sand, picking up weeds that have washed in, and maybe pulling some weeds. And yeah, no, that's
they don't have some, they didn't have somebody that like does that regularly for them?
these particular clients did not. This was something they enjoyed doing. And when I'm in a suit and tie and it's 85 and humid, I am not going to shovel weeds.
No. Yeah,
No,
well, if it was 70 degrees, would you do it?
I don't think so. I don't even do my own, right? Like I live on the lake. I don't do mine. I have children to do that.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
assume they were like out of town or something like that, right?
What's that?
Those people were like out of town or something.
No, they were at work, right? They were at work for
Oh.
the day, and we got a showing, like 9 a.m. Somebody's like, "Hey, I'd love to see the home at 1 p.m."
So what do you
And
do like if somebody asks you to do something outside of like what you feel is like it's too much of an ask? Like how do you approach that? What do you say?
I would just simply tell them, I believe in direct communication, right? I
Yeah.
mean, direct, be honest, right? And I would just simply say, "Hey, that's outside of the scope of my duties. I'm not doing that. I'll run over there quick, throw on lights, and make sure that is presentable. Pull up the trash can or something like that. But I'm not, hanging drywall, shoveling snow, shoveling weeds. I mean, cutting grass. It's just not.
No.
No, I mean, I don't call my dentist and like, hey, before you clean my teeth, do you mind grabbing my, taking the garbage out for me? I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Why do you think that like sometimes they ask agents to do sellers or buyers ask agents to do weird things?
Yeah. I guess my deep answer would be that I feel like a lot of agents probably aren't skilled enough at time of presentation, and they promise the moon. They promise everything to secure business, and then ultimately get themselves in some sort of pickle that they have to follow through on.
So how are you like when you say saying it like at the presentation, listing presentation, is there something that you're saying that's like, here's what I do, here's what I don't do? Or do you think it's just them over promising?
I do feel like there's a lot of over promising in
Yeah,
our business, right? There's a lot of over promising with a fair amount of under delivering, which is sad, right? I'd much rather see it the other way, and to
that's
keep
true.
our standards.
One of my first assistants, because I kind of used to be like that, like over promise. She would like, every time I came in with a listing, she would be like, "Okay, now what did you promise them?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, yeah, how'd you know?" Like I did
Yeah,
it,
right.
all this crazy shit, and just because she didn't have to be the one that like delivered it, you know what I mean? It was so funny. And then I finally learned my lesson. Stop it. stop doing that.
Exactly, right? So we all learn with experience. But yeah, I mean, I have a very specific plan of action,
Mhm.
and these are the steps that are going to be implemented to sell your home.
What do you think about agents that, because kind of how I took this question was like agents um, that do things like the job of a real estate agent in my head is to like generate leads, negotiate the contracts, things like that. It's not what it's not is anything outside of like selling the house. So it's not everything we talked about here, but it's also not staging. It's not taking pictures. It's right. Like, what do you think about?
Yeah.
Do you agree? Okay, so like, what do you think about agents that do that and they like they I think it's part of their job.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, it's just, I mean, I think there's a growth process, right? I mean, I think about when I started this business, we lacked a lot of training. There wasn't a
Mhm.
tremendous amount of guidance, whether it was from my broker or even outside of, my office, so to speak.
Yeah.
So you're kind of thrown to the wolf pack, right? And you're like, hey, good luck, figure it out.
Gotta like figure
And
out your process and like what you
yeah,
yeah.
yep. So you got to kind of create your own systems. And then it becomes a financial, like, hey, can I afford a photographer? Can I afford the sign guy? Can I afford a runner? Um, so, I mean, at the end of the day, how long does it take to sink in that you're running your own business and you got overhead and you got expenses? And, but yeah, I would totally agree. I mean, my clients do not want me taking photos. I promise you. Like, my wife gives me this, hey, will you take a picture of us at the fair? And I take a picture and she's like, you just did the worst photo ever. Everyone's eyes are shut and you got our shoes. And I'm like, I thought I nailed that one.
Well, like,
Right. So
I think too, like, let's say you are a photographer, it would be so easy to like have that as part of like the process, right? But I would argue, I mean, you had said like, can I afford a photographer, blah, blah, blah. But I would argue, like, can you afford not to have one? Because if you are a photographer also and a real estate agent, or you were a photographer before, you're probably spending way too much time taking the pictures, which is taking away from the time from selling the house, which is actually the real job.
which is our objective, right? Our
That
objective is
is
to get the home
what they
sold for the
hired you
most amount
for.
of money.
Yes.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I would agree with you there, So again, my objective is to get the home sold and
Right.
for the most amount of money possible in a reasonable amount of time, right? So
Or get them what they want if they want terms. But yeah,
yeah,
basically, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know why, you would want me spending 2 hours photographing the house or same thing, staging. It's not
Right.
a, I have that person, I'll call her up. She's awesome. She'll
Right.
take care of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been using Box Brownie for like virtual
Oh,
staging. Have you used them before?
okay. I've heard of them. I've never used them.
It's really great because like staging is awesome. I mean, everybody knows like when the house looks better, like it feels better, right?
Yeah.
Like people. But I mean, you just don't have time for virtual for staging right now because it's like by the time they get there, the furniture is gonna have to be taken out and you're paying all this money. Whereas like the virtual pictures are cool. But
Yeah.
yeah,
No, that's a good strategy. And we've implemented, I don't know that I've ever done box brownie, but we've looked at virtual staging on
yeah.
vacant properties and things like that for sure.
Cool. Well, I really appreciate you being on. It sounds like I won this one. Sorry, Monica. No, I'm just kidding. Finally, I win.
There
But
you go.
Chris, if people do have a referral for you in Minnesota, what is the best way to get a hold of you?
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. So just give my cell phone a call, 612-816-4067. We would love to help take care of your referrals for sure.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Hey, my pleasure. This was fun. Thank you.